You spoke and I listened. So I present to you the ultimate generator build. What's better in 4-man content than 4 ultimates in quick succession? And that's got to be 6 ultimates. And that's what this build gives you. So a lot of this stuff is not really important, with the exception of we're an Argonian. We're also in the healer role. It's probably the best way to do this. So any of the other things we do are kind of based around adding some healing, because you're going to remove your ultimates and not be able to cast those in order that we have 6 on the go instead of 4. So none of this stuff is terribly important. You could probably do this in PvP as well. So some of my choices are more focused around that. But it's kind of meant for probably 4-man content. I am a vampire. Again, that was just for PvP mainly, not terribly important other than for one particular skill that we'll get to, and I am using the ritual just to boost healing, because you spend so much time focusing on building ultimate that the skills that you've got left have to be buffed for their healing. That's the way I figured this. It could be something else, could be Attack or mage or whatever, just in terms of boosting your power. Go over the skills in a second, but we'll quickly look at gear. So the idea with this is to build ultimate as quickly as possible. So the reason for this is because we're wearing Cryptcanon vestments. You can no longer cast ultimate, so anything that procs off casting that ultimate is irrelevant. We're not going to be using that. But when we use the ultimate trigger, it transfers our ultimate to everyone else in the group. We can do this every couple of seconds, I think. Doesn't say on there. And you get minor heroism, so we've already got that covered. So how else are we going to build ultimate on this build? So I am using Baron Zaudrus monster. Applying a status effect, which if we can do every second, will give us 4 ultimate every 3 seconds, with a pause of 1 second before we start doing that again. So we're going to be trying to apply as many status effects as possible with this. We've got a training piece because of the front and back Baron. You don't have to do that, depending on whether or not you can then do the next bit. Because our other set is, first set is Arkasis, so this is heavy. You could mix some heavy pieces of Arkasis in here for PvP, or if you need a bit more health for PvE, I've gone with the stuff and jewellery. Which means you've got to, if you know Arkasis, it means you get, obviously, whatever, 44 once maxed out ultimate. When you drop potions, you have to do it on this bar. You could double bar it so you don't make that mistake. I'll come to that in a second. So we're going to be dropping a potion, get 40 ultimate back. And then the other set I'm using at the minute is Transformative Hope. So this gives us major heroism when we heal people below 50%. Not ideal, very conditional, so you could do Drake's Rush, but obviously then that means wearing at least 3 pieces of heavy, either through Arkasis or Drake's. And you've got bash stuff, so again, maybe not so ideal if we're a healer, it's possible. The other way of doing this potentially is being a DK, but then we're going to be, there's some very specifics about being a Nightblade. DK with Vassal Warrior, I'll give you major heroism. Or use any other set that builds ultimate. So for example, we can use, what have I got? Craftable Tava's favour. So it's not quite the same, 12 ultimate over 3 seconds, but yeah, and you have to roll dodge to get it. There are other sets that build ultimate, but again, they're conditional, usually on killing things, so it's not ideal. the healer. So this requires an active dodge. So you physically have to have a dodge. People be attacking you and have the dodge thing come up. You can't just rule dodge out of combat. So again, very possible, very, very achievable, but not always 100%. So I've just got Transformative Hope right now. You could probably use any other set, to be honest, even if it's not ultimate generating based. But this is one way of getting the old major heroism in. The other thing you can do, there's lots of other things we'll come to with skills, but when it comes to our champion points, you potentially could use one of their skills in here, Hope Infusion. So it's basically like if you do the same, if you proc Transformative Hope, you get major heroism, you're also getting minor heroism when you do that. So that's another way of, and that's for the group as well. So we're not interested in it, but we're building ultimate on our own ultimate to give the group, and we're building ultimate in the group when we do this, so that helps. I just got a bunch of these, aren't really important. It's all just whatever healing skills, to be honest, since we're doing healer. So healing stars. There's nothing else in there that helps. So then we come to our skills. So what you'll see that I'm doing here is Crushing Shock to apply 3 status effects. It's also really handy for PvE because you have to interrupt lots. So especially in hard stuff, you can be doing those 2 things at once. And not bad damage and skill in PvP. And then just whatever healing skills. I've got Refreshing Path and Siphon Attacks for, to keep, because sustain might be an issue on this. Just depends, especially if you spam Crushing Shock. Health enough from the healing. And what we are going to get in the way of building an ultimate here is siphoning. First of all, when we drink a potion, we get 20 ultimate. We're also an Argonian, so when we drop that Arkasis potion, we personally are getting something like 64, and everyone else gets 44. We're also getting resource return for being an Argonian. And when we cast siphoning abilities like Sap Essence in combat, we are getting ultimate as well. And then on this bar, Camouflage Hunt, Sap Essence again. So what I'm trying to do with this is finish things off. So Sap Essence heals us, causes damage, and it potentially could kill things. I've got an Impale on the bar. So again, when we're healing with whatever we're healing, and you can always swap these out for other healing skills. What else are we doing? Well, we can finish things off in combat, or help finish things off on execute. We might get a couple of kills, and if we've got Camouflage Hunter and we're killing things, we of course get Banish the Wicked, which I haven't maxed out yet. Generate that goes up to 3 ultimate every time you kill something with Camouflage Hunter on the bar. So that's quite nice. We're getting more ultimate if we're involved in, or when we get that final hit and kill things. I've got Cloak on the bar, obviously great for PvP. You could change that Dark Cloak for PvE or any other healing set, doesn't really matter. And then the last skill we've got on here is as a vampire, Exhilarating Drain. So basically, when we're not healing, we're building ultimate with this, and then when we've done our ultimate spam to the group, where hopefully things are nearly dying, and we're impaling and killing them, or Sap Essence and killing the things, trash mobs and whatever around us. I think that's it for the most part for the building the ultimate.